Okay,
Okay,
we're back.
probably.
The internet seemed to have went out or something happened.
Internet took a shit for a second, and now I think we're good.
And then we couldn't tell if it was still working or not, so we just decided to restart it.
Yeah.
So, hello.
Hello.
Is anybody out there?
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
Yes, we're back.
We're back. We think.
And we're back. What's that from?
I don't know.
I feel like it's something from Saturday Night Live. Anyway, sorry. I think the internet went out a bit.
It took a shit.
Yeah, and then it wouldn't reconnect properly, so we just restarted it.
Yeah.
Hello, Xavier.
Hello.
But the end of my story was that there was like 400 people there this time to see Caitlin Doty,
which is awesome.
Which was awesome, but then it sucked because I had to stand in line forever to get my book, and I brought Megan's book and got it signed for her as well. But Caitlin Doty is so nice.
I love her.
She's
so nice,
really funny
and well spoken.
Yeah,
funny,
and just extremely nice. So
she's really cool.
If you ever get a chance to
go
see her speak, I would definitely recommend it. Also, her books. I haven't read From Here to Eternity yet, but Smoke It's in Your Eyes is a great book.
Yeah, From Here to Eternity is like really, really cool too. I liked it a lot. So
yeah. So anyway,
anyhoozle.
What's everyone else been up to? What have you guys been reading? If you have any like questions for us or things you want us to talk about or something, let us know. Otherwise we'll just ramble about
We're just gonna fucking hang out and drink beer like we do.
Yeah. Oh, here's another thing. On my reading.
Here's another thing.
I can just keep talking about myself all day. But I thought that Not My Father's Son was going to be the last book I needed to finish for my Read Harder challenge because it was my celebrity memoir. And then I realized that the essay, I thought you just had to read like an essay collection, but it's an essay anthology, and by their definition that means it has to be by multiple authors, and I haven't done that. I was going to count The Geek Feminist Revolution, but that's all essays by Cameron Hurley. So
you can read It's Not, what is it? It's Not So Bad or whatever by Roxane Gay. Yeah, that's a collection by different authors.
Yeah, I might read that. I was going to see what the library had. Not that bad. Because I don't want to buy, I don't know that I want to buy a book. So I was going to see what the library had. But I might see if they have that, or I know they do have that book that's like selfish,
shallow, self-absorbed, about people who don't have kids.
Yeah.
Or essays by people who don't have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By women who don't want to have kids.
Someone told me, so one of my employees today told me that I give out like mom vibes.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
maybe because when you're the boss, I feel like you have to be a kind of authoritative.
I guess. And I don't know.
I don't know that anyone's ever told me that I seem motherly, but I do seem to attract friends who have shitty moms. So I'm like, maybe I am like a motherly figure. I don't know.
Just because your name is Susan and you love cats.
Yes, yeah, that's it. But so many of my friends have like bad relationships with their moms.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say something else. I can't remember now.
I got distracted. Sorry.
But so now I still have one challenge that I need to do, which is the essay one. So I'm like, damn it!
I have to read a classic of genre fiction, and that's my last one. Which I'm gonna read Brave New World for that. But I started to read it and wasn't in the mood for it at the time, and I haven't picked it back up yet. So
yeah, I need to reread that sometime because I haven't read it since high school, and I don't really remember it that well.
It's one of those books that I can't remember if I read or not. So I don't really think it counts. If I did read it, I wouldn't count it because I don't remember it at all. So I'm gonna read it.
All right. Nicole's focusing on NaNoWriMo this month. NaNoWriMo seems stressful.
Yeah, dog. It seems real stressful.
Yeah. I've never done it, and I probably never will. But
I am not a writer.
Kudos to you. I'm not really a writer either. I've thought about trying to write. I used to kind of try to write when I was younger, but
I did too. Like, I fancied myself a writer when I was younger.
yeah.
I'm not.
I tried to write poetry for a long time, and I don't think I'm a poet.
I used to write like horror short stories.
Hello.
Nooner.
Buy Books, Brew, and Game Review. Did I say that right?
Buy Book, Brew, and Game Review. That is a
Buy Book,
mouthful.
There we go.
But in like a good way. Like a good mouthful.
Oh, wait, that's Jordan.
Jordan, what you doing? What you doing, girl?
I saw the little picture.
Yeah, we're peeping at your.
I was like, I know her.
Wait a second. It's fucking Jordan.
Curly Books. I really liked Self-Shallow, Self-Absorbed. That was really interesting. Awesome. Maybe I'll get that one from the library then.
From the lives.
From the lives. NaNoWriMo can get stressful if you get far behind. But just getting to update the website every day is highly motivating. Oh, I didn't know that there was. I don't know much about NaNoWriMo because I've never been interested in doing it.
Right.
So I haven't really looked into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the book? There was like a horror comedy that we were going to write together. We were going to co-author it. What was that?
Was that the one about? Didn't it have to do with like vampires? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
We always come up with these great book ideas and then.
But usually after a couple beers, and we don't remember them. Damn it.
Oh yeah. Us and Jordan both changed our channel names in the same month.
I'll try this.
Mindy's reading an awesome fantasy novel where all the main characters are strong female characters who are rulers and warriors despite cultural norms. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
The Bright Ascendancy series. To check that out.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds really cool.
Speaking of fantasy, we went on our rant about name pronunciation in one of our last videos. And I did some research.
Okay.
And found that it is indeed Gillian.
Why though? But why?
It is Gillian Flynn. And the reason fantasy made me think of it because the author that everyone calls Tamora Pierce, who I think writes fantasy, it is indeed Tamara.
Okay.
It is
so
Tamara
1 for 2.
Pierce.
1 for 2. Okay.
Yeah, you've all been saying it wrong. It's Tamara.
Gillian, like for some reason, I find Gillian personally offensive. I don't know why. I shouldn't care that much. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I've never heard anyone named Gillian. I wonder if they call her like Gilly for short.
Gillyweed.
Gillyweed.
Gillyweed. It's like a dick. Gillian. It's not your fault your name is Gillian. I'm sorry. Don't say it's fine.
It's her parents' fault. I'm sure she's a lovely lady.
I'm sure she's great.
I don't know. She writes some fucked up stuff, so maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe not. But still, not your fault that your name is pronounced stupidly.
Yeah. I looked up both their names, and I think I was trying to look up somebody else's, but I couldn't find anything about how to pronounce it. But now I can't even remember who it was. So
I'm going to start pronouncing my name like fucking weird. I don't know how. Like
Megan.
People have called me Megan before. I'm like, listen.
Megan.
My name is Megan.
I just have people. The only time people have mispronounced my name is sometimes people will call me Suzanne. Usually they just call me the completely wrong name.
Right, like Sarah.
Yeah, like Sarah or Shannon.
Or it's hard to believe
Summer.
that someone your age is
named Susan. Yeah. Gilly is a cute ass nickname for a kid.
Listen, Jordan, I love you.
That's kind of cute.
Jordan, I love you. We're not going to see eye to eye on this. So I'm going to air shake your hand and agree to disagree. I respect your opinion. Fuck Gilly.
Yeah. What else? Anyone got any questions? Topics? We'll
talk amongst ourselves. Give us a topic. She said she calls her friend Megan Mahogany as a nickname. That's funny. So I know that you mean that you call Megan Mahogany, but seeing those two close together reminds me of that trend on MySpace where you like came up with like a word, like an adjective that started with the same letter as your first name, and that was your MySpace name. Mine was like Megan Malevolent or something.
I don't remember what my MySpace name was.
I have a straight up emo MySpace page.
I did have my Twitter was SueCee Celestic, which Celestic I think means like
celestial
like
dick.
No, like it does mean like witchy, I think, or
That's
something
cool.
like that. But I don't remember my MySpace name. I remember the good old days of MySpace when you could put music on your profile. I discovered so many bands through MySpace though.
Me too.
That was the cool thing about MySpace. Browse the music.
Yeah.
All the time, which I do that on Spotify now. So
yeah, that was yeah.
Finished the book Unearthed by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, or is it Megan? I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I haven't heard of that one.
I haven't either.
I'll have to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any reading plans or goals for the new year? So for next year, we'll probably do the Read Harder challenge again because we like doing that.
Yeah.
I kind of failed at my like trying to read the oldest books on my shelves this year, so I might carry that over to next year. And I would like to reduce my owned TBR because I own way too many books.
I just kind of wing it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do the Read Harder challenge, but then as far as like goals go,
yeah,
I just kind of wing it.
I set them and then I usually just don't do them.
I discovered like I'm more successful with my reading and I'm more productive with it when I wing it, because like if I read what I'm feeling, like if I read what I feel like reading rather than like
what I feel like I have to,
self-imposed regulations, then I read more. Yeah, and I enjoy it more.
Same, because this year I've read more than I ever have, I think, since, in my adult life at least. And I think it's because I haven't been being super strict with like goals of what to read or etc.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
I think goals can sometimes be counterproductive.
Yeah. When I make goals, at least like as far as my reading goes, I try to keep them vague. Like when I make other goals, like work-related goals or whatever, then those need to be specific. But like for my reading goals, if I keep them kind of general, then it gives me the freedom to do what I'm, in the mood for. But yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, so slam that down.
Calm down. Calm down.
Sorry. Oh boy, let me tell you about 12-year-old Jordan learning to code.
Dude, I was a straight up HTML amateur because I had to get them sweet ass backgrounds on the MySpace page. Yep. And hide them top friends because you did not want to start an argument.
Yeah, top friends was a lot of pressure.
And then there's that number one slot. I'm like, man,
it was tough.
What if 3 people deserve the number one spot? You can't put them all there.
Yeah. We liked Illuminate. I haven't read that.
Nor
I've been seeing it everywhere.
Yeah, but I have not read it.
Jordan is currently reading Sadie by Courtney Summers. I've been seeing that one around a lot lately. Because it contains parts formatted like a podcast, and I'm trash for podcasts.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah, I've only dipped my toe into the podcast game.
I have a hard time with podcasts because like I listen to people talk for a living. And so usually like when I'm not doing that, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Unless like it's a 2-way conversation or like, you know what I mean? Because just actively listening to somebody without like being able to participate in the conversation as an equal is kind of draining for me because I'm an introvert. So if I'm not doing that, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I have like a love-hate relationship with podcasts and audiobooks and that kind of thing, because I do like to listen to them when I'm like cleaning or cooking or things like that when I don't have to like concentrate on what I'm doing. But if I try to listen to them while I work, I feel like I just tune them out because I'm trying to focus on my work, and then I just don't even absorb anything that's being said. And I don't have a commute. I work from home, so I don't have a commute
to listen to stuff.
to listen to things or anything. And I like listening to music in my car.
Same. I like to just sing
singing
like
along.
an idiot in my car.
Yeah. Curly Books wants to read more of the books on their shelf as well. Some of my books have been on my shelf for at least a decade. Some of them more, probably, because I bought a lot of them in college. And I graduated from college in 2010.
So it's been a minute.
So it's been over 8 years since I graduated, and if I bought them prior, then yeah,
it's been a minute.
Yeah, and a lot of them are classics. I'm like, and I usually like classics.
Yeah,
I'm getting hot sometimes.
Okay.
But I usually like classics, but for some reason I tend to put off reading them.
Probably because, I mean, you do have to be really engaged with it. Like, they take a lot of...
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah.
Not always, though.
No. Like, Frankenstein, I feel like, is an easy to read. And Dracula are fairly easy to read classics.
I don't think Frankenstein's that easy to read.
Really?
No.
I thought it was smooth sailing.
Dracula, it's somewhat easy, I'd say. But, yeah, Frankenstein was a bit heavy. Podcasts are weird unless you actually like to listen to people talk to each other for hours. Have this weird fascination with how people speak. Interesting.
Do you mean I'm interested by this. Do you mean their vocabulary or their voice or their diction?
Their inflection.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. I would like to hear more about that.
I took a class in college on dialects.
Mm-hmm.
That was fascinating.
I bet it would
really
be
interesting. The teacher was kind of boring.
Yeah.
So that was a bummer. But the material was really interesting.
I had a client one time, and he called me hun all the time. Hun. Mm-hmm. And at first I was kind of offended and was like, hun. And I thought it was kind of a creepy thing because it's a male client, whatever. And then he used that word a lot, hun. And then I met his sister, and she did the exact same thing. And so it was just a common speech pattern that they both had, that they probably grew up with. Someone in their family probably spoke that way. Yeah. And so I was like, that's really interesting. But yeah, they almost use hun as a filler word.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Mm-hmm. I had a client who also used fuck as a filler word, and I loved her. She was a hard ass bitch, man. And she used fuck like some people use and she and I got along great.
Yeah, the docudrama podcasts are really popular, it seems like murder mystery or true crime stuff. I'm assuming would be a docudrama, stuff like that. And I'm not super into true crime either. That shit just freaks me out.
Yeah. My friend Rachel
says the girl wearing a shirt with a man getting his face dissected.
My friend Rachel watches a lot of investigation shows. So I'll say things to her, and she was like, "Don't joke about that." Because I said something, I was like, "Well, if something happens to me, I guess you know who did it." And she's like, "That's not funny. That is not funny." I'm like, "Sorry, man." She's like, "I watch a lot of investigation shows." And then she was like, "You should change locks in your house." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "I watch a lot of investigation shows." I'm like, all right,
yeah, my mom watches that stuff too. But it's funny because she thinks I'm a weirdo because I like horror movies, which maybe I am, but I'm like, horror movies are fake.
Most of them are so outlandish.
I mean, some of them might be based on true stories, but most of them are pretty fake. So, and I know it's fake.
Right.
But I think true crime just kind of depresses me because I'm like, people are such shit.
God, people are garbage.
Anyway, Mindy's not gonna buy any more books until she saves enough money for her wedding.
Aww.
So she'll be reading the books she already owns. Yeah, I've been mostly not buying books. This year, I haven't bought a lot. I've still been buying them faster, maybe not faster, but as fast as I read them. So my TBR number has not gone down this year. So I need to just, I guess, stop buying them altogether or something. But I've bought a lot less this year than I had years prior.
Yeah, I have too, and especially like right now because getting divorced is expensive. So I'm broke as hell. So no book
Yeah.
buying for me.
I've just been, I just don't have anywhere to put them. And it like stresses me out that I don't have room
Shelf
for them.
space,
So
they
I
just
don't want to
stack
buy
up.
them because then I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with
Right.
these?
Yeah.
You know?
Hell. Okay, so Jordan says diction and voice/accent. All of it together is really fascinating to me. Oh, she picks her favorite booktubers by that. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by that. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
So do you have like a favorite accent or like a favorite like pitch of voice or anything? Like is there what like tickles your ear boxes? I guess is my question. Sorry, my mom is texting me if you hear my phone going.
Nicole always says she's going to go on and I'm moving your lipstick.
Thank you. I keep knocking it over.
It only lasts for 3 days. Yeah. I don't really put myself on a ban. Like I didn't tell myself like
no book buying.
You're not allowed to buy any books. But I just like I don't want to buy them because
it stresses you out to try to find a place for them.
Right, because it's like my shelves are overflowing and I'm like, So I try to get things from the library if I don't own it and I want to read it or I need to read it for book club or challenge or whatever.
Yeah. I'll get things on my Kindle sometimes because it takes up less space. And then if I end up loving the book though, then I have to buy it again because like if I love the book, I want to own a physical copy.
And I won't do that because it's just like the principle of it to me. I'm like, I'm not paying twice for the same book. So I don't do that.
If I really love it,
I don't have a Kindle, so I don't read ebooks.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to read them on my phone and
that screen sucks to read on.
Well, I took my boyfriend's Kindle traveling and I left it on an airplane. So it's gone. Let's see. Nicole's husband is currently building shelves for her. That's nice.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I'd love to have like built-in shelves and stuff, but we rent our house. So.
I can't build them in. Now I was talking to somebody the other day about like dream houses, and I was talking about how mine would be like pretty small and cozy, but I'd have to have a room for my books, and I would want like floor-to-ceiling bookshelves.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I always wanted a bay window.
I love bay windows. My trailer house that I grew up in had 2 bay windows. One of them was in my bedroom, and one of them was in the kitchen.
Trailer house.
No, not remotely, but it had bay windows.
Yeah, anything that's all or nothing stresses me out. Bans are anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah. The rebel in me, it's like when there's a sign that says don't touch, I have to touch it. So if I put myself on a ban, even though it's my own rule, I'm like, fuck you, ban me. I'm gonna buy some books.
Oh, floor to ceiling mounted on the wall. That sounds awesome. Really nice.
Yeah, that's boss as hell.
My boyfriend's not very handy, so.
I'm not very handy shit. I was trying to hang curtain rods in my bedroom, and I have a power drill. My walls are plaster. My house is old. It was built in the 50s, so my walls are plaster. So they're hard as shit, and they're hard to drill into. And also, the power drill I have is also old, and it's not fantastic. It's not cordless. So I'm trying to screw in these curtain rods, and I'm like, I'm an educated woman. I got a master's degree. Like, I can use a power tool. I mean, I can. I got them hung, but it took way longer than it would take someone who's actually proficient. And there was much profanities. So, yeah. Turns out, just because you're smart doesn't mean you can use a power tool.
Yeah. Any other questions? Topics?
Questions?
I'm very warm in here. I this hat, but I'm definitely. Ooh, your hand's cold.
I'm chilly.
Really?
Yes.
I'm hot. Maybe it's this beer. I should really stop drinking because I
stop. Just.
Yeah. Alcohol makes my face burn.
Curly Book says, girl power though, you hang them curtains. I did hang them curtains. Yes, I did. I also ordered a couch because my ex took the existing couch to his new place. So I bought a new couch and I had it delivered to my door, but it came in like a giant ass box and I had to assemble it. And so the box was like much larger than I am. It was very much taller and very much wider than me. And the way they deliver it is they just kind of set it outside your door. They don't go up any stairs or anything. They just kind of set it. So he set it at the bottom of my front steps. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, I don't know if I can get this bitch in the house by myself. No, I can totally do it. No, I don't know if I can do it. So I texted Sue and I was like, hey, do you want to come over after work and help me get this box in my house? And she was like, yeah, sure. But then I got like stubborn about it and I was like, no, I can get this bitch in the house. So I walk outside and I basically just, because it was right up against my stairs. So like my stairs are here. So I basically just pushed it over and then pushed it up the stairs and like pushed it in the house. And then I put that bitch together by myself, which it was really a 2-person job. And I had to use my feet and my legs and my hip to hold things. But I did it.
You're a strong, confident woman.
Strong. Well, not right now because I'm PMSing. So right now I'm an insecure little bitch. But normally, yeah, I'm a confident woman.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Recently unhauled 70 books. Nice.
Shit.
Yeah, I have a hard time getting rid of books that I haven't read yet.
Too. I know, because I'm like, I don't want to punk out.
I know, yeah. And it's like, bless you.
Thank you.
And it's like, I still want to read those books.
Yeah, eventually, but like, I don't know when eventually will be.
Right, yeah, so I have a really hard time. Like, I'll get rid of books as I read them if I didn't like it that much, or I just don't feel like I'd ever read it again.
Right.
Then I'll get rid of that shit. But if I haven't read it yet, I'm like,
but I might read it
money
though.
For it. You've never unhauled anything?
What?
Even books you've read, you just keep all of them? What? I would like to have, like, if I owned my own home, I would love to have, like, a library. And then I would just keep all the books everywhere. But I don't own my own home.
Even books you've read. So what if you hated it? Like, what if you just fucking hated it? Do you keep it and just, like, glare at it occasionally?
Yeah, because there's books that I'm like, I don't even want this in my presence anymore.
Yeah, there are some books like I just wanted to like shit on, like just take a shit.
Put it in the toilet.
Just take a shit right on it. Fuck this book.
Oh, Megan loves putting stuff together.
I like it too. I just sometimes have to get creative because like I'm not a strong person. And so if things require strength, I have to get creative. So like, yeah, I have to use my whole body.
I kind of like it too, but I am not great at reading instructions. So inevitably, I always do something wrong and then have to like undo,
See, I'm really
30
good
minutes
at
of work, and then I'm not. I just skim read it, or just look at the pictures, and I do eventually.
Yeah, it just might take some trial and error.
Yeah. Jordan realized she had over 100 books on my ebook TBR that doesn't take up space.
That'll get you. I have a shit ton of unread books on my Kindle because I don't like forget they're there because I can't see them.
Yeah. Your most anticipated. Yeah, it does feel like I have unhauled books a few times, and I've gotten rid of a few that I hadn't read that I was like,
me
just
too.
Like,
I bought it on impulse. About it, I'm not gonna read it.
Yeah, or like library sale books that I'm like, I really want to read this.
Yeah.
And it does feel nice. Like it feels.
It does. It's cathartic,
liberating.
Oh, sorry, I'm sleepy.
But I still can't manage to like get rid of enough for my shelves to not look cluttered and overstacked and stuff. And it sucks for me too, because it's like I work from home, so I have to have a room in my house for my office.
So you can't use it for fun?
Otherwise I would put all my books in there and I would have plenty of shelf space, but I have to use one of my large shelves for my books for work because we publish books and sell them. So I have lots of books in there, but they're not fun ones.
Unless
So
you
that
really
sucks.
love math.
Yeah, so I'd honestly wish I didn't work from home.
Really?
Yeah, which a lot of people probably think I'm crazy, but it's not all it's cracked up to be.
I am hoping I get the opportunity to work from home eventually.
Yeah.
I might. Fingers crossed.
There's
some things in the works.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they're really not in the works.
It's very isolating.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm a fucking hermit though. Like, I could probably stay in my house for like a month and a half and never like not talk to anyone except for like via text and be totally fine.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely introverted, but like, it's just like staying. I think I just mostly get like cabin fever. I don't want to stay in my house all the time. But it is also, I don't know. I feel like maybe if you did it, you might feel differently.
I might.
Because you always talk about how much you love your work family and stuff.
I do.
And it's like when you work from home, you don't have that.
That's true.
And so that kind of sucks.
I am like almost pathologically introverted though. Like I took one, I can't remember what personality test it was. It was in grad school. And there was like the normal range, and then there was like a great little grayed out spot on a graph where you plot your scores, where it was like the pathological range of introverted, and I was damn near in there.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm a fucking hermit, and I'm always like, people want to hang out with me, I'm like, could you come over? You want to come to my house? You want me to go outside? I have everything I need at my house. Like I have beer, I've got dogs, I have Netflix. If you want to come over, just come over.
Yeah, that's why I always come here.
Yeah.
You don't ever go to my house.
Because I don't ever want to leave my house.
Yeah, and I'm in my house all the time
So
because I work from home. So I'm like, well, I can just go to Megan's. So, oh, her personal library is like an actual library.
That's cool.
Yeah, we check them out. That is
Do you
cool.
trust them? Like, are you one of those people who's really like particular about the condition of your books and like how people return them? Because that seems like that'd be anxiety inducing if you're loaning out books.
Yeah. I would assume probably not.
Yeah.
If you're like checking them out.
If you're checking them out like alive.
Because I'm not, and I'll let people borrow.
Yeah, I don't care.
I almost forgot that I owned the book Station 11 because I let my mom, or maybe I let my sister borrow it first, and then she was done with it and she really liked it, and my mom was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." So I immediately gave it to my mom, and then Julie, I told her like not long after I got it back from my mom. She was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." I was like, "Oh, you can borrow it." So she borrowed it, and I finally just got it back like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, "Hello, old friend."
Hello, old friend. I still have a couple of your books. I know I have Homegoing.
Yeah,
still.
You have Homegoing. You have a few of my books, I think. I don't remember what they're.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I think they're all books I've read, so.
Yeah, I think so. I still have a couple of Brian's books. I need to give them back to him.
Really?
It's like Brown Derby Brian.
Oh yeah. I think the only book I have of yours is on one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Some stuff. Scroll up. Megan has a super hard time unhauling books, but I forced myself. Unhauling books you've read or books you haven't read. I'm really bad at scrolling on a laptop. Oh yeah, book buying is a stress relief. I think shopping can be a stress relief in general because I have trouble with online shopping. I buy a lot of clothes online that I shouldn't, and then get them in the mail and try them on, and if they don't fit, I just keep them because I'm too lazy to be bothered to send them back in the mail. So, and then I just end up wasting a lot of money. Yay. Why am I so bad at this?
It's tricky.
Megan is super analytical. That's interesting because
you're pretty artistic.
Because you're artistic.
So it's interesting that combination exists in a human.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said that in a really weird way.
Yeah. But I think you expect most artists to be more
feeling and expressive emotional. And not maybe quite. But I guess like being analytical could probably help you if you were artistic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weigh in here, Megan.
Man, I can't. Use an app. Oh, there's like an app for your like a library app sort of thing. That's cool.
That is cool.
Chocolate. Hello. Are you formerly known as the book baker? What was it? I can't remember now.
Bookish baker.
Christine, right? Or Christina?
I think so.
Because I was looking at like our last live video. Because I was wanting to make sure of the date that we said we were going to do this one.
We always forget our live shows. Yeah.
And I saw chocolate in our in our chat, and I was like,
I don't recall. Chocolate.
What was it? My mom has never read a book she's ever borrowed from me, and no one else wants to borrow books from me because your book taste is so weird.
Same, girl. My mom was asking me for recommendations, so I was like scrolling through my Goodreads, and I was like, no, sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah. I got my mom, because my mom has totally different reading taste than me too. And I got her a subscription to Book of the Month for Mother's Day this past year. And she's been really enjoying it.
I know. I'm really excited that your mom and I both have. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so excited about that.
And she already read the one that you guys got that was the same.
Did she like it?
She loved it. Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I started rereading it."
I keep hoping me and Patty are going to be.
Yeah, which is interesting because I think isn't it kind of a fantasy? It has some fantasy elements to it.
It's the with the line that held us.
Yeah. No, not that one. That's the Appalachian Noir. No, she didn't get that one. It was like last month's.
Spinning Silver?
No, that's not it either. I don't know, but she loved it. I'm pretty sure that you both got it. Let's try to catch up with this chat.
Yes. Okay.
Megan's lost a few books loaning them out, so she's super paranoid.
Same girl.
I don't know. I know I lost the book Where the Heart Is a long time ago, and I think I loaned it to somebody, but I don't even remember who I loaned it to. But that's the only book I can think of that I've ever loaned to someone and they never gave it back.
So you have to trust them, and they know not to dog or eat around her books.
Oh, I would not borrow any of your books then.
No.
I once borrowed a book from my friend and accidentally spilled Chinese food all over it.
You bought him a new one, though.
I did buy him a new one. Yeah, but I felt bad.
What did you guys think about the Goodreads Choice Awards chosen books? I don't even know what books were chosen.
I don't know either.
To be honest with
I kind of looked at the nominees, but they're all always like current, new releases.
We don't read a lot of new releases.
We don't really read new releases, so I don't think I had even read any of them that I can recall. Because the newest release book I've read this year was probably. Well, I did just read Record of a Spaceborne Few, which just came out this year. I don't know if it came out this year or last year, but I did read The Seven Husbands of Eleanor Hugo, and that's pretty new. Evelyn Hugo, and that's pretty new. But
we don't read a lot of new.
We don't really read the new releases, so I don't really have an opinion, I guess.
Yeah. Curly Book says,
like Megan said, I'm bad about loving covers and hating the actual read and not knowing what to do.
Same.
Yeah, I had that dilemma. I got rid of one that I actually hadn't read it, but it was a total cover buy, and I was not interested in reading the book at all. But the cover was so beautiful, and I kept it for like a year or two.
It was so pretty.
Because it was so pretty, and I was just like, I don't want to read this book, so I should just get rid of it, and I finally did. But I'm like, I should have just kept the dust jacket.
Yeah, just frame it.
Yeah.
This book sucked. Curly Book says she likes to read seasonally. Are there any cold or winter reads you're looking forward to reading? The only kind of seasonal reading really that I do is like in October, I like to read spooky books.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean,
I do feel like when it's colder, I do just kind of gravitate more toward things like, I read more like horror, thriller type stuff than I would normally, which isn't a lot. I mean, I read a fair amount of horror, I guess, but I don't read a lot of thrillers. But yeah, and I don't know. But I don't think for the most part, I don't really read that seasonally.
I don't really.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any like specific things. I don't read Christmassy books or anything. Good night, Nicole.
Good night, Nicole. Have a good day.
Oh, everyone gives Megan a hard time about having a graphic design major and a math minor. That's interesting.
It's an interesting combination of things.
Yeah, but that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But interesting.
Get you a girl that can do both.
Get you a girl that can do both.
Yeah. I have an English degree and took
a shit ton of
stupid amount of math, but I don't have a degree or a minor in it or anything. But I was undecided for my major for a long time, and I thought I might go into some sort of science. And so I just kept taking math because I didn't want to stop, because I was like, if I stop, it's going to be that much harder to pick it back up.
Into it. Yeah.
So I took 3 math classes in college, and I only had to take 1. I needed to take algebra. I took that, and then I took trig, and then I took calculus, and then I stopped after calculus and got an English degree.
I took basic, like, college math and algebra, and then I took stats because I had to take stats. So
I love fantasy in the cold weather. Oh yeah,
that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I get fantasy. I don't read a lot of fantasy in general. I don't really know why.
I don't either. I think I'm kind of picky about it. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of like. I guess if I'm gonna read fantasy, I kind of like grittier, darker fantasy. I guess I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of picky.
I mean, and I feel like fantasy and sci-fi have a lot in common.
Are they kissing cousins, Susan?
They're kissing cousins. But for some reason, I like sci-fi a lot more.
I do too. I like sci-fi much more.
I think I like things that are grounded in reality.
That makes sense. And sci-fi is very much like.
I don't mind fantasy. I enjoy fantasy sometimes. Like I love Lord of the Rings, and I love Game of Thrones.
I mean, Game of Thrones is awesome, but yeah, I don't know.
But I think it's just like something I enjoy every once in a while. Like I don't think I could ever read a lot of fantasy all the time, like some people do.
Same.
But that's just me. Hello, K-pop Latino. Started in engineering. It was 1 math class away from a minor.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I feel like, would math actually be pretty helpful with graphic design?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about.
Because I know you do, like, you use like vectors and stuff, right?
I think, right?
I've dabbled in graphic design stuff with my job because they think I can do everything, and I
do a little bit of everything.
I do. I've done graphic design, but I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing, so I just did my best, but
winging it.
Bear and the Nightingale is a great winter read.
I've heard that, but
I've heard it's really good. Although, was it Jordan you hated it? Is Jordan still here?
Jordan.
Because I swear I remember somebody ranting about hating that book, and I feel like it might have been Jordan, but I could be wrong.
Bookworm Sewist says she's going back to school and majoring in literature and minoring. Yeah, lots of reading, lots of writing. Get ready to write some research papers.
Yeah. What's interesting is that I have a English degree, and I feel like I wrote a lot less than a lot of other majors.
I had to
did.
write a shit ton. I had to write like curriculum. I had to write case studies. I had to write like fucking research papers. Yeah, I wrote a lot
Yeah.
in school for my degree.
Yes, sci-fi is the best.
Yeah, it is.
Hello, eclectic breed.
Hello.
And I like fantasy occasionally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think I'd get tired of fantasy really quickly.
I think I do too.